Hello and welcome to the book summary of 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. And this is a masterclass on offer creation. And offers are something so important for you to master because here's the thing, right? Your offer is the first financial interaction your customer makes with your business, whether it's a product or a service. And the tagline of this book is how to make offers so good that people feel stupid saying no. And that is exactly what Alex does in this book. And to give you a little bit of an overview of what we'll be covering in this book. So, this book is divided in, you could say, four sections. The first section is basically about Grand Slam offers. What exactly is a Grand Slam offer? Section 2 is about pricing. How are you supposed to price your products and services? Section 3 is about creating the offer. And Section 4 is about enhancing the entire offer. By the way, if you don't already know me, my name is Mohit Jagwani, and my goal with this channel is to help you be the most powerful version of yourself physically, mentally, socially, financially, and most importantly, fashionably in a way that is fun and engaging. So, if that sounds interesting to you, do not forget to hit follow. And without further ado, let's get started. So, the first section is Grand Slam offer. What exactly is a Grand Slam offer and why is it even important? Here's the thing, right? Any offer that you feel stupid saying no to, as mentioned earlier, is a Grand Slam offer. It is an offer that hits home and hits hard. For example, let's say if I were to offer you a Ferrari, right? And you are getting that Ferrari for, let's say, 20 lakhs, 20 lakh Indian rupees. Okay. And if you knew that this is a true offer, actual offer, would you say no to this if you had the money? Absolutely not. Right? You would be stupid to say no to an offer like that, even if you only had, let's say, 21 lakh rupees. And if you knew that my offer is genuine, right? And it is for 20 lakhs, you'd buy it because you know that the amount of value that you are getting, it is insane for the price you are paying. Correct? Now remember, this Ferrari is not cheap. Correct? I'm not giving it to you for 1 lakh or 50,000. No, it's not about giving them less. It is about giving them so much that they feel stupid saying no. How are you supposed to do that in a way that's systematic and cost effective? That is something that we'll be talking about as well as we move forward. That is what a Grand Slam offer is. Now, why is it even important to create an offer like this? Well, here's the thing, right? Now, let me give you an analogy. Now, an offer is nothing but a demonstration of value. For example, let's say a woman wants to woman wants to date someone. Now, she sees a man that is completely well dressed, super polished, super refined, is a complete gentleman. And that gentleman approaches the woman and asks her, I would love to, take out on a date. I take you out on a date. Okay, that is the first offer she has. The second offer she has is, let's say, another man that is not that presentable, not that much of a gentleman, not that refined, and he goes up to her and asks her the same question: I'd love to take you out on a date. Which man would that woman choose? Obviously, the first one, right? In most scenarios, at least. Correct? Why? Because the first man has more to offer, more to value. That is what is perceived by the woman. Now, that man might be a complete scammer. Okay, there's a big chance. I mean, not a big chance, but there might be some chance. Now, the other man, on the other hand, might be a billionaire or a millionaire. He's just not showing it. Okay, but the woman does not know it. That is why she rejects the second man. Okay, so it's not about who actually has more value, but it's about who is creating more perceived value. That is what a Grand Slam offer does. Now, ideally, your expectations should not unmeet the reality. It should not be fake, But whatever is your perceived value, it should be very matchable with the actual value that you are providing, because if that is not the case, then you might get the customer initially, but then you are going to create a bad name for yourself, and you will not be able to attract more customers, which is why it is really important for you to understand the principles behind creating a grand slam offer. Moving on to the next section, which is pricing, finding the right market. Okay, why is it even important to find the right market? Now here's the thing, right? If you were to have one thing that your competitor does not have, genuinely, just that one thing that your competitor does not have, what would that thing be? Everything else is the same, okay? But this one thing is different. You are offering the same products, same services, you have exactly the same offer to the T. What is the differentiator? One big differentiator that you need to have. The biggest differentiator is the crowd that you serve. If you were to offer the same thing to a different crowd, to a different person, you would get a different result. Okay, so the thing that you want the most is a starving crowd, as you can see over here. Correct? And if you have a crowd that you can sell to that is starving for your products, you're going to be a millionaire or a billionaire, right? If you know the fundamentals, even if you have a poor offer, you're going to make a lot of money, even if the offer is poor and you have the right crowd. Okay, so how can you identify the right market, the right crowd for your products or services? Well, there are 4 parameters according to Alex Hormozi. The first one is massive pain. Your crowd, whatever it is that you are serving to, it should have a problem, a big problem, a big pain that it needs to be solved. For example, let's say cancer patients. Okay, big pain, massive pain. If you don't solve that pain, they'll die. So massive pain. Okay, that is the first indicator. Another example would be, let's say, people that are very rich, they want to show off their money. So that's a problem that you can solve as well, right? Or another problem is that people that are middle class, but they want to showcase themselves as rich people. That is again a huge market. Correct? So you can position yourself in a way that's very expensive, and you can market yourself to these middle class people, and then you can run discounts on a trial basis. So for example, this is a season, and whenever you bring the prices down, because you have created a perception that this is for rich people, and if you wear this thing, you'll appear rich. Guess what? People that are, let's say, middle class or upper middle class, they'll fly to buy your products. Okay, so that's something that you can do as well. So number 1 is massive pain. Next thing is, as you can see, purchasing power. Because see, it doesn't matter how good your product or service is, if your audience has no money, you will not be able to make money. Okay, the amount of money you make depends on your audience and the amount of money it has. If your audience has money, if the pain that you're solving and the people that have that pain, they're rich, it's going to be easier for you to sell. That's about it. Okay, that is why it's so much easier to sell to rich people, because they have that purchasing power. If you can solve rich people problems, then you'll make rich people money. It's as simple as that. And the third thing that you need to understand is that market should be easy for you to target. Let's say you have a product that solves a big pain for rich people, and they are willing to pay money for your product or service as well, but you do not have any way to target them. Then what's the point? Because here's the thing, right? It's not as if rich people are standing with their arms open to target them. No, it is difficult to target them. You need to find some way, some tools, techniques. If you can target them, wonderful. Find a market that you already have, that is easy for you to target. That market might not have the highest amount of money, but can they still pay you for whatever services you are charging? If you can, then start with that market first. For example, if I were to talk about myself and my services, right now, I help leaders become better public speakers, correct? And I have access to a market that can pay as well. But initially, I didn't, right? I'm a part of BNI now. Right now, in BNI, people have purchasing power. But initially, I was a part of Toastmasters. Now, people over there do not have that much of a purchasing power, right? What did I do? I created programs and services for them because at Toastmasters, they want to become better speakers as well. So I designed products and services that they would want and they can afford. Okay, so that is the next thing that you need to keep in mind. What is the purchasing power of your market that you can target? Just think about what are the communities that you are already a part of. What are the people that you are surrounded by? And for example, I'm also a part of a coaches community. I designed a sales program for them as well that they bought. Right? That was according to their purchasing power, and I solved a pain that they were going through. Okay, so figure out how easy is it for you to target that market. And the fourth thing is that market growing or shrinking? Because here's the thing, right? Even if, let's say, you are capable of capturing that entire market 100%, but that market is shrinking as you move forward, then you will not be able to capture that entire market. If I'm a part of a Toastmasters club that has 100 members and that club is not growing, in fact, that club is shrinking. Initially, 100 of those members were paying me. Now, because that club is shrinking, 80 members will be paying me. So even though I have the 100% of the market, as time progresses, I will make less money because the market is shrinking. So these are the 4 indicators you need to understand and you need to have in order to find the right market. If you have these 4 indicators and all of them are checked, you're good to go. Moving on to the next part, the pricing. Right? How much should you charge and why you should charge so much that it hurts? You are solving a pain. Okay? And if that pain involves your customer or your client taking any sort of effort, and if you're charging low, then your clients are not going to take you seriously. And because of that, they will not put in that much effort because they think that, oh, you know what? It's cheap. So it may or may not work. But if you charge what it is worth, and if they pay an amount that is painful for them, and the reason they will pay that amount is because you are solving a pain that they have. Right? People pay because they want their pains to be solved. Right? If it was not painful, then they would not pay. So that is why you can charge the amount that is equivalent to the pain they are going through. Right? So the amount of pain that they must feel while paying it should be just very close to the amount of pain they are feeling when they are going through the problem. Maybe just a little than that, just a little less than that, but very close. Because then they would be willing to pay more. Okay, now why should they pay more and why should you charge more? Well, because understand that there's a cycle of price. Okay, so this is the vicious cycle of price. Basically, if you charge more, then your client's emotional investment is going to be more. Because their emotional investment is going to be more, the value that they are going to perceive out of this is going to be more. Now, because the value they perceive out of this is more, the results that they are going to get is more. And as a result, their demandingness is going to decrease because the results are going to be more visible, and the revenue that you get for fulfillment to provide them a good service increases, and you can provide better services to them as well. Okay, but that being said, let's say you decide to charge less, then the emotional investment decreases because they're paying less. Because of that, the perceived value, because they're paying less, they are going to think that, okay, I'm paying this much, its value is going to be this much or lesser than that. So perceived value decreases. Because the perceived value decreases, the results decrease. Because the results decrease, the demandingness increases, and the revenue you have to fulfill and provide a good service decreases as well. Okay. For example, let's say, for example, you have a gym, two gyms, and two trainers. One trainer is charging 5,000 rupees per month for 20 sessions. Another trainer is charging 20,000 rupees per month for 20 sessions, right? In which one will you be more emotionally invested? 5,000 or 20,000? 20,000, right? Because you are more invested into 20,001. Which one are you going to think has more of an expertise? 5,000 or 20,000? 20,000. You think because that person is charging 20,000, there's a big chance that he's an expert or a better expert than the one that's charging 5,000. Now, similarly, in which scenario, let's say if you decide to move forward with the 5,000 one month, and in the next month you decide to move forward with the 20,000 one, which one are you going to put in more effort? And because of that, which one are you going to get more results from? 5,000 or 20,000? When you get high paying clients, what happens is that their demandingness decreases as well. Why? Because let's say if someone is poor, and if they are paying you the same amount that a rich client is paying, now because they are paying more of the share that they had, because of that they will expect more compared to the client that already had a lot and had to pay the similar amount. For example, let's say you are paying 10,000, a client is paying 10,000 and they make 35,000 a month, right? Then 10,000 is basically close to a third of the money they were making in total. And that is why the results that they would be expecting, they would want that results change one third of their life, right, in that month. But on the other hand, if there's a client that is making 2 lakhs per month and that client pays you 10,000, now that the money that client is paying is 1/20th of the money they are making. Because of that, what they will expect is going to be 1/20th of, they will expect that, okay, their life is going to change by just 5%, which is 1/20th. And that is why they will expect less, and their demandingness is going to decrease. Okay, that is why you need to target people that have higher purchasing power. And then revenue for fulfillment per customer. Now, because you are charging more, you can provide a better service. Because you can provide a better service, you will provide better results, and their demandingness also in a way decreases because they are happy with the service. Okay, so this is the cycle of price for your clients. Correct. So now you understand why it is important for you to charge higher so that your clients can get better results. But now, that being said, how does it affect you and your business? Well, let's say if you charge higher, then your profit increases. That is the most obvious thing. But after that, your perceived value of self, how do you look at yourself and how do you value yourself, that increases. Based on that, the results that you provide, they increase, because you think that, okay, you know what, you are a person that is an expert, and because of that you will provide results in the way you deliver. It's going to be much more confident. As a result, the result that you provide to them increase. Apart from that, the levels of services that you provide to your clients, they increase. The conviction of your sales team, the conviction of your sales people, the people that you hire, that increases as well. Because of that, your business thrives. Okay, so that is why you should charge so much that it hurts. Now, there's one more thing in the second section, that is pricing. So you need to understand three levels of success. So the first level of success is the market you choose. That will determine how easy or hard it is going to be to grow your business. After the market is how good your offer is. For example, let's say If the market is relatively new and you are the only player and it's growing, then it doesn't matter how good or bad your offer is. You're the only player in the market. Okay, and if the market needs you, you're solving a pain, then even if you have a terrible offer, people are going to buy it. But let's say now there are competitors in the market. Now, whatever you are offering is going to matter so much more. Now, let's say you have someone that is offering the same thing that you are offering in the same market. Then it depends on your persuasion and sales skills. So, these are the three levers of success. Moving on to the third section, that is value creation. Now, in value creation, you need to understand the value equation, which has four components. The first component of the value equation is the dream outcome. Dream outcome is then multiplied by the perceived likelihood of achievement of that outcome, which is followed by the bottom half, which is time delay, and then the effort and sacrifice required to deliver that value. So the top half of the equation is the dream outcome. Basically, whatever problem your client is going through, what is the dream outcome that you are providing? For example, let's say if someone is fat, and because of that, people around them constantly berate them, constantly pull them down. The dream outcome for them is a fit body, correct? And the more is the perceived likelihood of achievement of that outcome, the more value your offer has. For example, if let's say the perceived likelihood of achievement is 100%, if they come to you, then you are 100% sure and they are 100% sure that you will solve their problem, then the value that you offer increases tremendously. That is the top half of the equation. Dream outcome multiplied by perceived likelihood of achievement. The bottom half is time delay multiplied by effort and sacrifice. If it takes a lot of time for them to achieve that outcome, then the offer value decreases. But the same thing, if you can offer in a short amount of time, then the value of the offer increases. Similarly, if the effort and sacrifice that they need to take is a lot, then the value decreases. But on the same hand, if the effort and sacrifice that is required by them decreases, then the offer value increases. For example, now let's say if there's someone fat, they want to become fit. Now, one option is working out. Now, when they are working out, the perceived likelihood of achievement is not 100%. It depends on them tremendously, right? And it is going to require a lot of time and effort. That is why you can charge a certain amount. But let's say they decide to opt for surgery, right? The fat is going to be removed surgically. And after that, there are going to be implants of chest that make their chest appear stronger, implants of abs that makes their abs appear better, bicep implants, tricep implants. Now that is 100% likelihood of achievement. And there is basically very minimal time delay. The moment you decide to schedule the surgery, the amount of effort that it is required is basically, the entire process takes less than 2-3 days, right? And effort and sacrifice required at your end is minimal. You only need to invest money, and that is why the value that you can charge, the money you can charge, is really high. Now, the next part of the value, right, which is the third section and creating offer, is offer creation part one, problems and solutions. Basically, you remember the first part of the value equation, that is the dream outcome. Now, what you need to do is that whatever dream outcome it is that you are delivering, list down all of the problems, all of the obstacles that you are going to face when it comes to achieving that outcome. For example, if I were to talk about public speaking, okay, let's say if I want to transform someone into a good public speaker, What do I need to do first and foremost? Now, generally, people have a monotonous voice. So that is a problem, right? Apart from monotonous voice, they don't have energy. That is another problem. They don't know how to use their hands. Third problem. They don't know how to utilize the stage. Fourth problem. Correct? They don't know how to engage the audience. Fifth problem. They don't understand what exactly is it that they need to say in terms of their stories. Sixth problem. Right now, these are all of the problems. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to allocate solutions and write down solutions to all of these problems. Right? So now this list of solutions is a part of my offer. Okay, but then again, since my service, whatever I'm doing is a coaching related problem and solution. Okay, now you might be suffering from, let's say, you might be you might be solving some other problem which requires, let's say, you investing some money instead of just knowledge. So in that scenario, what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to identify, out of all of the solutions that you listed, what is the value each solution is providing and what is the cost, right? So basically, this was all about problems and solution. So let's just move on towards the next part, that is trim and stack. So what you're supposed to do in trim and stack is, whatever solutions you have listed down, note down whether they are delivering high value, low value, high cost, or low cost. Okay, so for example, if there's a solution that's delivering high value and low cost, that is 100% supposed to be in the offer. And now let's say there's another solution that's giving low value and high cost. Cut it out. Okay, so whatever solutions that are giving you high value, keep them. And based on the cost, right? If the cost is high and the value is also high, in that scenario, what you could do is that you can create same product but different ways to deliver it. For example, if let's say if I'm talking about public speaking, then public speaking for leaders. Now this is going to happen in 5-star hotels. Apart from that, they'll also get access to the public speaking leaders community. So they'll be connected to different leaders. So in this way, I'll be delivering more value and I can charge more. Now, if I was doing the same thing for students, I can't charge them more, right? The product might be the exact same product. I might differentiate and add a certain component of leadership for leaders. That is the only difference. But still, I'll be able to charge more because it is for leaders. Okay, and plus, I'll be keeping it in 5-star hotels, so that's why it's going to be more expensive as well. But then again, it's going to add more value to it as well, and leaders will pay for it. So that's the difference, and this is how you trim and stack. Basically, trim down anything that is not needed and stack everything that is required. Okay, and there's another thing that you need to understand, which is the delivery cube, right? If you can see this, so this is the delivery cube. And in delivery cube, there are different parameters. For example, whatever you are doing, is it one-to-one, one-to-small group, or one-to-many? So if it's one-to-one, it's going to be the most expensive. And one-to-many is going to be the least expensive, right? Based on your services. For example, now there's a big chance that someone's one-to-many might be more expensive than someone's one-to-one. That depends on the reputation they have, the value they are offering, multiple factors, right? But generally, the same person providing a one-to-one is going to be much more expensive than the same person providing a one-to-many in a service based or a coaching level business. So that's one thing. Another thing is it do it yourself, do it with you, or done for you, right? So do it yourself is basically like, for example, if I'm launching a webinar wherein, or I'm just selling a course, right? Digital course that they purchase and watch on their own time. This is DIY. DIYs are the cheapest. That is the second part of the delivery queue. Second part is DWI. DWI is done with you, wherein, for example, I'm hosting a live program wherein they're supposed to do it with me, right? I'll be making them do it on the program that's done with you. And then the last thing is done for you. wherein they are not even a part of it. It's just going to be done for them. For example, let's say if it's training salespeople for an organization. Now, do it yourself is just them getting some videos of some high level trainer and then them trying to implement it themselves. Done with you is them calling that trainer and then them being a part of the entire process, wherein the entire process is done with them. And done for you is where they are not even there. They know that they just want this entire person to take care of the entire sales process. That's done for you. Done for you is the most expensive. DIY is the least expensive. Okay, and then speed and convenience. The more speed and convenience you provide, the higher you can charge. Right? Consumption. What is the mode of consumption? Is it through documents? Is it through podcasts or audio files? Is it through video? What is it? And support. What level of support are you providing? Is it video call support? Is it call support? Is it mail support? Right? Based on the support, you can charge them. And then again, 10x and 1/10 test. Basically, if you have a product, and let's say if you were to you are supposed to increase its price by 10 times, how much would you change it? What would you add? And if you were to reduce the price by 10 times, 1/10 the price, what would you remove and how much would you charge? Correct? So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. Do both of these tests and you'll observe a big change, a big difference in the way you present your offers. And there's also this thing called sales to fulfillment continuum. Basically, whatever is easy to sell is hard to fulfill, and whatever is hard to fulfill and whatever is easy to fulfill is hard to sell. Correct? So, for example, 20 lakhs Ferrari, easy to sell, but very hard to fulfill. Correct? So, I hope you get the point. Moving on to the next part. Now, you might have a small offer or you might have an idea of how you can create a small offer. Now, that being said, how can you enhance this offer? So the part one of offer enhancement is scarcity and urgency. Now, what is scarcity? What is urgency? We'll be talking about that. Scarcity is basically number of units or availability. And there are three types of scarcity. Number one is limited supply of seats or slots. Basically, if I am running a coaching business right now, I can only handle 5 clients in a month because that is my capacity. Right? I do a very deep level coaching wherein I have to be involved at a very deep level. Because of that, I only have 5 available slots. Second is limited supply of bonuses, wherein I only have a limited amount of bonuses. For example, let's say if I have a book to supply along with my program, then I might be doing a one-to-many thing, but I am limited by the number of books I have. So that is a limited supply of bonuses and never available again. So this is a one-time offer only, and I only have 5 slots or 10 slots available, and after this it will never be available. So these are the 3 types of scarcity that you can use to basically propagate your offer and enhance your offer. The next is urgency. Urgency is basically you only have this much time left to, let's say, move forward or make a decision. And there are 4 ways. One is rolling cohorts. For example, in this cohort, in this month's program, I only have 4 seats or 5 seats. If you want to become a part of it, you can apply it next week or whenever. But in this month, I only have this many seats available. So this is monthly rolling cohort, right? Rolling seasonal cohort. So this is not based on cohort. Cohort has a specific duration. For example, it could be 1 month or 5 weeks. So it's per cohort, 5 people only, right? Now rolling season is limited season, that only for summer or only for winter. This is rolling season urgency. Then this is promotional or pricing. Basically, this is just any random reason. It's not related to, let's say, your cohort or the season. It is related to, for example, oh, it's my birthday, so it's promotional, right? So something like that. It could be any opportunity you find. Independence Day sale, right? So that's promotional, only for Independence Day, something like that. And then exploding opportunity, that right now something happened Because of that, we are providing this at an exploding, cheap cost, and it's an exploding opportunity for you for a very limited time. Once a year sale. Okay, so something like this. So these are the four ways you can create urgency. Right. So this was scarcity and urgency. Now, better than scarcity and urgency is bonuses and guarantees. Right. So bonuses, you could now, how can you actually give bonuses? So for example, let's say you have a product that has 5 components: A, B, C, D, and E, right? As you can see over here, what you can do is that you can divide it. Instead of keeping all of those 5 components as a part of a whole, you can keep it as a part of a offer, wherein let's say this is the main component, plus you get 4 bonuses, right? In this way, what you do is that you make the offer more attractive. So this is bonuses, correct? And then there's guarantees as well. So guarantee is basically, so let's talk about guarantees as well. There are 4 types of guarantees. I don't think I need to elaborate upon what exactly is a guarantee, but one is unconditional guarantee, that if you don't like it, 100% money back. Second is a conditional guarantee, that if you don't follow everything I say, or if you don't do XYZ, or after doing XYZ, you don't get the desired result, money back guarantee. Third is the anti guarantee. The anti guarantee basically means that this is so good that once you know this, we can't do anything about it. This is the opposite of a guarantee. That it's so good and it's proven that we have such a good reputation and our product is so good that we cannot give you a guarantee, and your money, once you have that information, you cannot unlearn that information, and it's an anti-guarantee, which is basically, I'm sorry, no money is going to be returned after the purchase at any cost. Okay, that is, and anti-guarantees are used when you have really high credibility and your product is really freaking good. So that's something that you can implement as well. And the fourth is implied guarantee. So implied guarantee basically means that, okay, you know what, guarantee is not directly stated, but it's implied. That, for example, because of the reputation of the company, right? So you bought a car. Now there was some problem with the car. Then that's an implied guarantee that company is going to repair it or change it at no cost, right? So these are the 4 types of guarantees. Now, apart from that, the final thing is, this is the magic naming formula. So M stands for make a magnetic reason. For example, why should they take this offer? So spring, summer, back to school, grand opening, this is the name, right? Back to school offer. So this is a reason why. Next is the announce the avatar. Avatar is basically the identity of the person. For example, for doctors, lawyers, right? There's this bee cave dentists, right? So dentists in bee caves, rolling hills moms, mothers in rolling hills, brick and mortar businesses, right? Salon owners, retired athletes, Brooklyn busy executives, correct? Busy executives in Brooklyn, basically. So this is announce your avatar. Okay, G is a given goal. What is the goal of the offer, right? You can include that as well. For example, pain free, right? Celebrity smile, first break, never out of breath, perfect product, grand slam offer, little black dress, double your profit, first line, high ticket, 7 figure, 100,000, etc. Okay, then there's time interval. For example, 6 week, 3 month, X weeks, 4 hour, right? For example, 6 day summer camp. This is an offer. 6 day summer camp for teenagers. This is the name of the summer camp, right? So this is something that you can also do as well. And then there's C, that is complete with a container word, right? This is C. For example, challenge, blueprint, bootcamp, intensive, incubator, masterclass, program, detox. Now, one thing that I ran is business image bootcamp. So this was about how people can elevate their business image, how entrepreneurs can elevate their business image, right? It was a 2-day program. So this is business image bootcamp, 21-day storytelling mastery. So it's time interval, 21-day storytelling, right? So that is the goal, mastery, which is the container word, correct? So now again, you are not, it's not required for you to use all the 5 components of the name, but the more you can use without making it sound too, as if you're too long, obviously, because then again it's going to be hard for you to, for it's going to be hard for people to narrate the name to someone else, correct? So that's about it, that's it from my end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do not forget to subscribe. And as always, my name is Mohit, and my goal with this channel is to help you be the most powerful version of yourself, physically, mentally, socially, financially, and most importantly, fashionably, in the most fun and engaging way possible. So if you haven't hit the bell icon yet, hit it right now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.